Ghost on the 1st floor. Background: while still a young teenager, my family and I moved into an old farm. Nothing creepy or standing out. Literally just an old farm. The main farmhouse was bigger than most average houses here, but not overly grand, and was divided in a ground floor and 1st floor. With access to a storage under the roof. It was located about a 1-hour drive from any major city and about 20 minutes from the local village. When we first moved in, the plan was that my little brother, 5 years younger, and myself would have to share the 1st floor by ourselves. 1st floor consisted of all we could need: a living room/playroom, 3 bedrooms, toilet/bath, and a semi-long hallway. Ground floor had the kitchen area, great living room, dining room, an office area, and a master bedroom connected to toilet/bath. For context, my father was a great man and a no bullshit / see it to believe it kinda type. Even though my family have never denied spirits, fey creatures, or gods, we like to turn to our logic before turning anywhere near the unexplainable, cause most things can be explained by wind, temperature, weather, etc. But we have had moments where we lacked explanations, and this is one of those moments. And please, if anyone have any idea how sound of footsteps can appear as loud as your own, please explain. Because I truly would like another explanation than it was a ghost. Story: as I mentioned, it was a good place for a family of 4 to divide themselves into. But already from day one, no one, not even my father, wanted to go upstairs. When you stood at the stairs and looked up, you just felt unwelcome. At first, we tried going up there, my brother and I, but we couldn't be there for more than a few minutes without bolting downstairs again, like someone was after us. So despite the whole 1st floor being empty, we rather wanted to stay in the office and sleep on our makeshift beds. My parents didn't even want to use 1st floor for boxes. They were all just piled up against the wall in the office and living room. Life goes on despite a creepy part of the house. And a week later, we were all gathered in the living room for some TV time. We always did this once a week, at least. It was a nice, relaxing time. Until suddenly we heard footsteps above us from the hallway, and we all just sat still listening, kinda disbelieving it and kinda wondering if someone had gotten in through a window. My father made a shush sign for his mouth and got up from his chair, grabbed his sword. I guess he wanted to give whoever was up there a good scare. He then continued over to the stairs, made a last look at us, as in, I got this, and walked up the stairs. We could hear how his footsteps and whoever was in the hallway was gonna meet up where the stairs and hallway met. Then, as you would expect, a loud war cry from my father, shaking the house, and then silence. Nothing. My father returned confused, disbelieving the whole scenario, and then with the confused words, there was nobody there. He sat the sword in its place and returned to his chair, staring blank at the TV. With renewed courage, my brother and I tried the day after going back up there, and for the first time we had lived there, we got all the way to the living room in the end of the hallway. Seemed stupid, but for us at the time, it was truly an achievement of true courage. I remember the room was filled with dead flies everywhere and an enclosed smell. We was there for like 30 seconds. BAM, something like a train running past us, hit us in the chest, and we just ran screaming back downstairs, as in pure horror, screaming for our lives, to our parents who was running to us thinking someone had broken in. They had heard the bomb too. It sounded like a door getting slammed/kicked, though there was no door being closed/kicked at the time. My father this time walked upstairs and shouted something like, "Anyone here living or dead? This is my house now. You are under MY roof now, and follow the command of MY rules. Accept it, or F off. And funny enough, for some weeks we felt and heard nothing. Suddenly, we were, welcome, upstairs. My brother and I started to use upstairs a little, still sleeping in the office. But we were just glad to not get hunted back downstairs when we were up there. We even cleaned the playroom and moved some Legos and stuff up there. I don't remember why, but one day I had to be home alone. Done it many times, just not that place, and it had never been a problem. That day it was only for a few hours, so I sat down in the living room, watching TV to kill time. And then, footsteps from upstairs, walking towards the stairs. I silently grabbed my phone, ran into my parents' bedroom, and true child style hid under their bed. It seemed like the best hiding spot at the time, since I would have had to pass the stairs to get outside. I laid there as silent as I could and called my parents, all while I could hear the steps walk around the house, now inside the living room and office, which was both connected to the bedroom from separate doors. My parents was almost home and told me to stay on the phone and only say something if someone found me. I guess they didn't want me to give up my location. Broken in, it felt like hours, but must have realistically only been like 5-10 minutes or so. And then BAM front door gets kicked in, and my father runs straight for me, shouting to whoever, if I find you, I'm gonna rip your spine from your ass. As soon as I heard my father, I just remember shouting he's in the office. I didn't want my father to get hurt or surprised, but again, nobody was there. This time my father had enough, and we moved to a new house same week. There was more than just the footsteps going on. Closets opening and closing, things falling from shelves, but only the footsteps that I haven't been able to explain, as I have with the old closets or bad shelves. We never really talked about it after we left, though we learned that the farmhouse had burned down a month after we moved from there. Sometimes I still think about it and wonder if my father ever saw or felt something up there.